Sorry, Dr. Bailey. Is it only D2 which occurred here?
No, it's D3.
What about D2B?
Okay, actually, that's a good question. We can talk about it. The last stop will be a quick one. But essentially, if you look at this regional geological map, everybody listening, around the town there, if you see that, this is like the structure you're going to be mapping, is a domal type of structure. Okay, a dome. And there's another one on the other side of town, a bit smaller. Okay, what you see in here is the S2 foliation, but these domes are essentially a refolding of the S2 or the F2 folds, okay, into F3 folds to form these domes, interference structures. Okay, so that is the D3 deformation, a refolding of a pre-existing fold. Okay, so that is the deformation that you're going to see as you map that. So you are going to find still the S2 foliations, but that foliation actually might curve around, okay, a bit as you go around this actual domal structure. Okay, so for example, the groups mapping on the western side might find that this foliation might actually be more oriented like north-south almost, because it's been folded around that core of that F3 fold. Okay, so you are getting these interference domal structures because of later deformation, the D3 event. Okay, and that was probably around 10-30 million years. Okay, so let's see what orientation of the foliation.
You're stressed.
See, it's getting late in the afternoon. Look where the sun is. West, so I don't know if this is an outcrop or a loose boulder. If you look around, just take a look at around the proper outcrop. Just take a look at it, what the foliation is doing.
Did you take the GPS?
Yes, it's a granite. But it's granitic gneiss, essentially. Okay, so it is a granite.
I'll give you.
See where it plots. Again, it's a Monzo granite, basically plotting in the same position as what you find for the Spectacle Suite. So equal amounts of alkali feldspar and plagioclase as for the other granites. Yep.
When you get a concentric sandstone, right, and it was metamorphosed to an extent of very high temperature, close to water.
Yeah.
Can we tell what its proto is without doing any isotopic
was regretting it.
Well, typically, if you've got like an algan textured gneiss, that predominantly would have been porphyritic granite. Okay, porphyritic granite. You're not going to actually be able to take like an Arcos, for example, and do this and create algan, you know, because with an Arcos, all the grain sizes are more or less the same. It's only when you have some sort of pre-existing structure, in this case phenocrysts, which have been deformed, where they actually form an algan texture type of gneiss. So this tells you it must have been granitic before. Whereas if you didn't have those algan, it was just like before with what we saw with the pink gneiss. That if it was a granite before, it wasn't porphyritic.
Then the grains were more or less the same.
Yeah, it would have been granite if it had been a granite before.